Right. Right. Okay. We're back. So, let's keep going. Things are going fairly well at the moment, with Ethiopia and Somaliland not completely unified over on this side. And East Africa is now independent, so they'd make for an excellent target. The only problem is that, well, this is pretty much the only state I can attempt to conquer without there being massive amounts of potential issues, especially considering that the US might get involved. India is also extremely unwilling to help, due to the fact that they're in bankruptcy. They seem to have resolved the issue, though. They no longer have that. Oh, UN stability strategy. Permanent UN member. Explains why I can't do anything there. Wait, I remember researching... Oh! Does not have single party state, anarchy, or at all counts are enacted. Oh, that explains a lot. Oh, if Egypt gets involved, I can take them. They don't have an advanced military. They do have mechs, but that's it. No advancement. Just basic mechs. Burma would be willing to help. Okay, if you want to, go ahead. I would like to take the other half of Equatoria in order to connect on my territories too. But that's only possible if the Congo ends up getting involved. Yeah, I'll lower the... welfare payments. I cannot afford this much. I need to redirect efforts into... I guess Canada's involved here instead. Mass surveillance. That resolves some of the issues. Oh hey, the left liberals are finally here! It took them long enough. Seriously. It's 1967. What could I sway them with? They just want investment rights. What kind of interventionism? You know what? Sure. You've got some troops. These would be helpful. Specific I want to do? Not really. My rigidity is already too unstable to do much, so. Okay, a couple hundred troops are being sent here. Synthetic pesticides. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to use those since they use up quite a bit. Is there a small one that can accept it? Depends on how much natural gas is being used. Trade center. I can accept the 644 chemicals. 127 pharmaceuticals. Considering that, it's not that much. 383 oil. On the other hand, I genuinely need food, so. More grain would actually be really useful, so. Okay. It's just the synthetic cosmetics, which. Fine. I'll just research this straight and then go for the astrophysics. After that, I'm not sure, although I can probably answer that question later. Okay, move you to here. The most important thing is to link up these front lines. I'm much more effective if I can fight everything at once. Because imbalances are never fun to deal with. Two front wars and all that. I mean, I don't exactly see why I shouldn't be able to conquer these without too much infamy. After all, I mean, especially East Africa. Racial segregation. White-dominated country. Doesn't that sound very familiar to some people? Okay, at this point, things have stabilized. Surprising that Congo hasn't intervened. Oh, they want investment rights in Spain. Oh, jeez. East Africa wants investment rights in Burma. Ah, the importance of war. Of course, regime change. Okay, wait. Maybe another army here. No, not this one. This one. No. I've already gone through all my offensive armies. Oh yeah, right, I only have so many of them. I could use another. Aeroplane shortage. Oh boy, I need to fix that. Oh, okay, that's a lot more than I expected. I think someone ended up fulfilling that a lot in the past, maybe. But oh wow, okay. I really need to fix that fast. Somaliland has plenty of room for more aerospace industries. Seven's not gonna be anywhere near enough. It's the helicopters. It's the helicopters. That is probably enough. I hope. I hope. I mean, 3 produces 145, so 17 should produce 5 times as much, which is not even nearly enough. This should produce 9 times as much, which is 900. That should be enough to at least prevent the meltdown. I don't know why I suddenly got so much more expensive. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, I'll win that. Easily. Generally speaking, if my enemies outnumber me 2 to 1, I can win this on my own. If they outnumber me 3 to 1, well, I'll need assistance, but I can still win. Where is my navy? Oh. What are you doing up here? Alright, I need you to ensure security in East Africa. Oh yeah, they are losing this fight, which is excellent. Bad if I was not winning that. Okay, yeah, it gets picked up by trade. Somewhat. And the sheer amount required has reduced, so I will Oh. No. No! Should have done it from this interface, otherwise I would not have accidentally deconstructed that last level of oil refinery, but where was the oil refinery? Just keep building up the oil refinery in chat. There's plenty of labor. In fact, I shouldn't worry too much about labor in the first place. Although I do need to be careful about exact numbers. The exceptions are in locations like this, where people are still in the process of moving in, and there hasn't been a mass migration to the area yet. I'm sure there will be in the future, just hasn't happened yet. Let's add a level to that, because I'm going to need it. I've done that as hard as I can. Have I even done it in the pharmaceuticals? Yes. Pretty much as I figured. They are melting under my advance. Though there are limits, of course. My allies aren't doing nearly as well, because, again, I'm the only one that's using these superb late game mobilization options. Oh, what is this? Yogyakarta is trying to get independence. British Senegal is involved. Why? Of course, sometimes you get something like this. And that is hilarious. Tanks are really, really good and break down the defensive stalemate. Oh, so much. I can well my way towards winning even with a blunder. Revolution in Indonesia. 19 offense. What did you do? Go, that's the war goal. Against East Africa, anyway. At least one Spanish state. Incorporated, I assume. I believe that they're African colonies are not incorporated. Unincorporated. Canary shouldn't be that hard. There. The front lines have merged. I'll move you off the front line. Oh yeah, that one's a bit more questionable. I have a truce with the Dutch. And well, revolutions like that count as an offensive war, so I literally cannot do anything about it. Sadly. That's a bit better, but I still don't like that broken supply line. It's another major war. Oh hey, Korea's independent. Congratulations, I guess. Go, Labour. Make me proud. That was never a close battle. This is much more like the expectation. Thankfully, I don't lose many troops on the defense, but it's a real problem. Am I winning this encounter? It looks like it from morale numbers. Well, despite all the immigration and cosmopolitanism, the third demographic stage is about to end. Yeah, that East African fleet is way too weak. Ooh, radar. I think I can swap. Yeah, I don't need to specifically use synthetic cosmetics anymore. The automatic spirit's gonna handle the rest. Another revolution in Central America. Oh, it's Mosquito. I was expecting it to be El Salvador again, since that's happened at least twice. At least twice. There might have been circumstances where I wasn't paying enough attention to see it. Wait. East Africa owns this tiny little piece of the East Congo. I'm conquering that at some point. Austria-Hungary might defend them, or Australia. Maybe Greece? I can accept the 8.3 infamy though, and it's not going to be a big deal. They don't actually have any troops. What are they doing diplomatically? They're trying to improve relations with Canada in the hopes of getting... Okay. More support off of them. If I conquer the state... Yeah, this is way easier to conquer than any portion of the Congo, since the Congo's actually got a defensive agreement with the UK. In fact, the Congo doesn't even like it, so... Well, Iberia's occupied, so... Great work. I'll send you over there now. Yeah, that doesn't look like it's going to be a good counter for that. Is that actually lowered yet? A bit. Welfare payments have dramatically reduced. Okay. I don't like it, but it needs to be done for a while in order to shunt more of my money into economic growth. As well as defense, for the moment. Now, one of the things I was thinking about doing was expanding the amount of... Wrong glassworks. Yeah, right, it's here. The amount of porcelain produced. Although I produce a lot. Okay, perhaps not. I definitely need more power production though. Okay, so we're there. So if I produce more luxuries, there might be more of them incoming in the future. I believe the luxury production was here, right? Yeah. If I remember correctly, it was here. Let me add a few levels there. Okay. Glass is doing great, but I need more pharmaceuticals. I always need more pharmaceuticals. To the point where I always need more water. Sadly, for the most part, this stuff has been maxed out. Perhaps I can work on it a bit more. Like here. Just max it out. I don't need more livestock ranches. Not really. If I do need more meat, I can always produce more just by changing the production method to start using coal. It does generate more pollution, but pollution's a non-issue. In fact, I think I might do that universally now. No, it's just way too much. Gah. Yeah, I should have converted these to diesel pumps a while ago. Fine. Wait, what was I thinking of doing? This question comes up so many times. What was I planning? What was it that I was planning on? Looking for, okay, water plants. I think I can swap to electric pump water now in Mauritania. That's Senegal too. Yeah, right. I've built the power plants there. I should be able to do that. Yeah, what was I doing? Shoot. What's these plastics? Oh, okay, so it's still increasing. That's good. There, it's done. We're now in stage 4. Medium birth rates, low mortality rates. Birth rate is lower, but workforce ratio has increased, which is going to have side effects. Oh, so many side effects. I will have to start reminding rare earths at some point too, but I don't have the tech for that in the first place. The rare earths mine is a bit of a waste down. Could go for robotics at some point, but the gas turbine is probably the most helpful. Natural gas is right now easier to obtain, and light fuel, well, easier to obtain. I only produce so much heavy fuel oil. Egypt has capitulated. Once I conquer this tiny little Sudan in Equatoria, everything will be connected. Plus I'll have a bunch of new territory to develop. Oh great, they've already maxed out, at least in East African half, the agriculture. And it's almost maxed out here too. Great. Oh, plenty of food production, I guess. Oh my. Why is this tiny little spot considered part of Equatoria? What happened to get that to occur? Why? Of all things, why? Still haven't set up synthetic furniture modeling. State has access to electricity. You need electricity in order to activate that? That is very, very odd. I should actually start setting that up in the smaller ones, though, in order to continue the use of plastics. And of course, expand production. Greater efficiency means more goods availability and all that fun stuff. Okay, I could demobilize anything that's not on the front. Nope. There, that should fix up the finances somewhat. Outside of course, the aerospace industries. I'm a bit busy, sorry. Colonial nations, not even once. No, I haven't started incorporating. Really should do that. There we go. I no longer needed to do things. Well, at least not in that manner, so. Synthetic dye. Rayon can also be made, but let's try it with this one anyway. Perhaps not. Actually, it is more productive. Okay. that, so let's just stick with grocery production. Because no one's environmentalist yet. That has to wait until I get social democracy. Okay, the balance looks great. What I need now is to... Oh, someone died. Social security guy. Let's replace you. Oh good, you're a communist, not a vanguardist. Vanguardists. Yeah, that's why I was waiting. Haven't bothered to yet, to be precise. Okay. Right, so I should put it in a spot where there's a lot of available population. The new construction sectors, and plenty of them too. Part of my access to construction sectors, at least for the time being. I'm sure the level can be pushed even higher. It's just waiting for the right circumstances to do so. Yeah, this place needs a lot of automation, at least temporarily. Promote socialist values. subjects, actually. Oh, now that they've turned socialist, no one wants to defend cynical. Cool. Of course, Inner Mauritania is somehow more expensive to conquer than Senegal. I accept 6% chance. They will not accept. Wait, actually, I didn't even check to see how much. 25.5. Yeah, I still need to be careful with infamy. If I generate too much infamy, there will be problems. Very serious, very real problems. And nationalize without compensation. That way it can be redistributed into the hands of the locals. Okay, oil rigs maxed out. Still more copper mines here. But there's no people in the area yet. Oh, stuff's already maxed out there. So here. Okay, I can turn off some of the automation here. What could I produce here? Plants doesn't sound too bad of an idea. Wasn't I also setting up an automobile thing? Yeah. Oh yes. Just gotta wait for the repeatable walls to reset. Just give it a minute. Come on. Hello? I know it sometimes takes a while, but more than a week is not the norm. There it is. Perhaps I should have done that first. I think I can afford more construction sectors. Maybe not that many. Oh. I definitely need this power in order to improve things inside the state. Although it might take a while for the first hiring to come in. Yeah. Next week. And then, because it's being subsidized, employees will be forced over. There's just not enough people in this state. Not nearly enough people. Most of the automation positions have already been made, as far as possible. I literally cannot push it any harder. Although automatic power blowers, no, let's turn that off. Those are bad. They do not like to function well. Oh, okay, it said itself to... I must have clicked the one on accident. Press the one. Explains why I was going so slow. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it does pick out states with a high proportion of unemployed people. Well, I could always use some more radios. Just out of curiosity, who's rivaled me? Spain considers me a rival. Okay. Let's make it mutual. I could use the reduction to the infamy growth, so. I think I can increase the welfare payments level. At least stop lowering it. Cancel the reduction. I can afford the current level easily. It was just level 5 that was way too expensive. It was way too much all at once, so. Just lead me to wonder if there's something that... Is it really the maximum production method? Yeah. The only thing I can do is hope that the production tech works on improving the throughput or output of plantations. Well, that's agriculture. That's the oldest techniques. Could come in handy. But yes, I'm about to start stockpiling gold, so. I know I have insufficient construction, but there's only so much I can build. Plus, the investment pool is being drained by purchasing the stuff that I construct, so. So it's money going back to the treasury again. Which is good. Very good, in fact. It does seem that they're building more water plants, which I approve of. I need water badly. I'm gonna look into more bauxite mines. Yeah, I can easily build more of this. It is fairly annoying how, in general, the what was it? Agricultural land has generally just been maxed out. It isn't anything I can do anything about, but I'm still complaining about it. I have zero plans of getting involved in that one. Indian Senegal. Oh my. It always happens, doesn't it? The colonies seek a protector. Even if it goes full circle. This used to be French. Then became Dutch controlled, and now it's under Indian control. Colonies. They're always so strange. It's more than 6k. Okay, so telecoms are really good for getting rid of unemployment. Yeah, let's do 2 levels here. And we're over an hour again. Okay. I think it's a good point to stop. So, I've managed to conquer both sides of Equatoria. East Africa became independent, so I got that half. The other half actually managed to win its independence from the Congo, and I immediately conquered it. Welcome to the revolution. Yeah, there's a bit of an eclectic mix here on what's going on. I am working on things. Yeah, with this one I'm trying out the synthetic silk. Theoretically, I can purchase all the silk, especially since China just exports it like mad. But I want to have at least some local production because things could go wrong really, really easily. But let me update those entertainment sectors in order to do the jazz bands. They're towards the bottom, aren't they? Scroll right on past them. Make sure they're all those. Jazz band. And swing dance. Okay. Manual data those then. Yeah, Equatoria is going to take a little while for me to fix up. Has the... yeah, revolution's still ongoing. Nine years of that increase. It'll fade. Hopefully once the support gets low enough, this revolution will die off. I hope so. I don't want to have to deal with this. In theory, I could grab the claim off of British Niger, but Great Britain is really tough. Might be easier just to wait for them to get their independence eventually, because transnational activism has been researched by Great Britain. Okay. I have lowered the amount of welfare payments because I just can't afford it. And it was correct. It was the correct decision to do. I can shunt way more money into construction now. And I mean a lot more money. Steel is starting to become expensive again, as is glass. And alloys too. But the increase in construction speed means that the economy is growing faster and faster. So I can maintain the growth for even longer and deal with all the immigrants. Although I don't think I've noticed a mass migration in a while. No, there's still plenty, it's just that the most recent ones haven't decayed yet. Or I've forgotten about them. Yep. Yeah, these states are the ones that really need more people in them. Excellent. Oh, I've already turned off some of the automation. But that's what the new levels in the oil refineries are for. Convert more fuel. I need fuel every bit I can get. This state definitely needs a population though. And I could release more population here in order to expand the mines further because iron is so expensive. Every little bit I can get, I will use. Here, on the other hand, there's just way too many people. There's just not enough people as well. So I think I'll actually swap off the transportation increasing ones, at least temporarily. Later on, I'll turn them back on, but for now, no. There. That should help out somewhat. The biggest thing that's hampering me right now is the fact that in most locations, there's just not much arable land left. I can build massive water plants here, though. But really, it's the problem. I just don't have that much water production. I could really use more. Thankfully, the private investment pool doesn't seem to be working on any more food-producing stuff ever since I've gotten the chemical fertilizer set up. So there really is no more need for, you know, grain anyway. That sort of food. Otherwise, it all seems to be pretty much focused on industrial stuff, though mainly the things that the companies do. Yeah. I might disband the paper company, since I don't need paper that much anymore. But no, that's a terrible idea. I need the throughput bonus. Far too much. I'm probably not going to do the electric music syndicate. No. Maybe the railway one? I don't need the forestry since I already have the Nigerian woods, which gives me even more. Home goods would not be that bad, especially considering I need glass so much. Most of the other things, well, okay, record does seem interesting, but no. Ooh. That could come in handy, this one right here. Strategic mining. That's 10% uranium input. Oh, input. Secondary, that's what's that output. I don't need airlines. Armaments, well, I don't produce. It's just no longer useful. But yeah, plenty of progress has been made. Nedge now is a puppet for however long that lasts. I don't think I can annex the Philippines. 76.5 infamy. I can't do that. Nedge, on the other hand, would only give 13. I don't know how much the Trucial states would give, but not very much. But the Philippines are just too large for me to annex. That's way too much. It's because the Philippines aren't an unrecognized country, that's why. I can play neutrality here, there's no point to that. Yeah, I'm working on the tier 6 production text now. Tier 5 is in Sofu texts are still being gone through, but there's not many left. It's only 4 of them. After that, things start to get really dangerous. Because decolonization is right here. But so long as I don't pick up antibiotics, it's unlikely it will not be grabbed, at least. And even then, it's still rather unlikely. Market studies would not be a bad idea. Allow me to finally start producing business data and start using that organized data. Of course, it needs a lot of other stuff like electricity, telecoms, etc. Well, that data can be used to, well, boost throughput of everything. There is a lot of business data being produced, but I'm buying a large portion of it, so. I think I might be one of the, yeah, I am definitely one of the single biggest buyers. I'm third on the list, and that's largely because I can't produce it yet. Of course, like I said, decolonization, that's a big problem. But I also want this stuff like this, the text spread. It would make it so much easier. Of course, as soon as I am done dealing with subjects, then it won't be a problem anymore. So once I annex these two, I can't do the Philippines. I'm gonna have to let them go at some point. Eventually. Integrate with Suzerain. You want to, but would you accept it? At the very least, I can speed up the process somewhat by supporting the regime. Anyway, I think I'll stop here for the moment. Infamy is something that I'm trying my best to manage, especially considering that no one is producing much of it now. And I'll join the UN eventually. Eventually. There's a lot of infamy generation there and all that. It's weird that the decisions are here, but... I'll lose the Geneva Convention's membership, but I'll gain UN member permanently. Single party state enacted. But the Soviet Union can be considered a single party state. They were part of the UN. I mean, I get the anarchy component now, because the UN would... Yeah. In fact... It's starting to become... Yep. It's a legitimate behavior. Pretty much everyone that has joined the UN wants the stability. I don't know why you don't have it. Do you have single party state? No, you just didn't bother picking it. France also. UN member. Okay, they just didn't pick it. Plus, being a permanent UN member also gives you infamy generation, but more prestige. I don't think I would count under that. France doesn't count. Autocratic party size limit. Eh. Yep, I definitely should stop here. Right. I'll see you again next time. Till then, bye.